This is Nick from Nintendo Dads, and we present you our review of Mages of Mystralia, brought to us by Borealys, both developed and published. We want to give them a big thanks for giving us a code so that we could get you fine folks a review. So in Mages of Mystralia, you play as a girl named Zia, who has just discovered that she has magical powers. Unfortunately, those magical powers also burned down her house in Greyleaf, which is in the world of Mystralia, which now also unfortunately has banned magic, so she has powers that she is not supposed to or can't use. The land of Mystralia is composed of about 12 different areas. All of them look vastly different and are smaller areas, but they are fun to explore and find the secrets that are hidden within. This game has a ton of little puzzles and things like that. When moving from area to area, you will have these loading screens. This is one of probably very few downsides to this game. The loading times are longer than they should be, for sure. Especially on a device like that that handles Breath of the Wild seamlessly, you would think that they could at least reduce these times by quite a bit. That said, other than this, there's not a lot to complain about. The story is tied together magnificently. It unravels at just the right pace as you go through this video game. It was actually wrote by Ed Greenwood, who created the Forgotten Realms fantasy world for Dungeons and Dragons, and you can tell they've done a lot to take good care of that story. The music is fantastic. Every time you go to a different area of this land, the music changes depending on your situation. If you're in battle or if you're just exploring, the music kind of morphs and moves with what you're doing, and that really, really does add something to this game as you explore every nook and cranny of this world. That music was actually done by the video game orchestra at Soundrec Boston, who did Final Fantasy, I think, 15 and also Kingdom Hearts. So the music is just really good. Both of those pieces really come together to make this game something special. I really do love the art design. You're seeing it here. It kind of has a feel to me of like Wind Waker-ish type of graphics and type of feel. A little crisper, obviously, and a little more HD to it than that. But it is really the art style's fun to watch as well. Okay, so the sound, the music, and the story in the land that they've created and the art style are all great. So what's the gameplay like? Well, you start off as this mage who doesn't really know much about her powers. And that's kind of interesting because you, as the player, don't know much about her powers either. You have to learn with the help of her mentor and the spell book that she picks up along the way. And she has four different powers, each mapped to a different button on your controller. She has the ability to make shields, throw fireballs, and other such environmental actions, make like ice bridges and stone bridges, and the ability to kind of do explosions and kind of slash. And each one of those kind of does start off pretty weak. And as you find these augments, you can change those and morph those into super powerful attacks. So I thought I'd give you an example of what entirely I mean by where you start. That's where you start. You can shoot one fireball and it just sits there. After you have played this game for 10, 15 hours, you can do something like that. And I'll give you a little tutorial on just one area, how you can do it, just so that you can get a feel for how it happens and what I mean by these augments and how you can move them. So here, this is where you begin with one spell. What I've done is I've taken the move augment now and added that to my begin spell. So now instead of that fireball just sitting there, it moves. I can then go and add duplicate to my move spell, so now it moves with 3 fireballs. And each one of these augments you have to go and find. Some of them they're found for you, or some of them you find by beating beasts or bosses. Others are hidden away in secret areas through puzzles and yeah, through puzzles. So I just added Swift to that and made it move a little bit faster. This is Teleport, so that now if I were to attack an individual, it would teleport right to and hit them immediately. So there are all these different augments you can use, and you can use it with more than just the fireballs. You can use it with the other 3 attacks that I've mentioned as well. You can move them around, and if you move them and put them in different order, it will affect how they act and what they do. And you could do this with other things too. Down below are the runes. You have earth, wind, fire. I'm not making a song here, I promise. And ice. And so I could choose to shoot ice or wind or earth, so which would be like rocks. And you could do all that. And so you have millions of different combinations of weapons that you can choose. See, there you saw it had something to lock onto, so it attacked the dummy. This is kind of like a training room. I'm in Haven, which is kind of like the home for mages. And so the weapon system in this game is just so much fun to move. And sometimes you have to have them in a certain order to be able to unlock a puzzle or to be able to move forward in a land. And other times you just get to play around. What's the strongest spell you can make for Actus, which is the shooting the fireballs? What's the best route to take to beat the guys that you're currently fighting? And the amount of variety that adds to your playthrough is just so much fun. And I really had a great time. Here you're going to see that I add impact. So now I have 5 fireballs. After I shoot the fireball, it adds another earth, so you can see the rocks flying. It adds an earth effect after that. And so you just get to play around with this and figure out what's the best route to be able to attack these enemies. And by the time you're done, it makes you feel super powerful. And it is so much fun to just watch your knowledge of these spells grow, along with Zia grow too. And you really feel like you're working with her and helping her out. And it's they did a really good job to wrap all of that in to one package of this Mage of Mystralia and make a really good video game. So guys, my final thoughts wrapping up here. 2 things I wanted to mention. 1, the sound in the game right now is really low. The developers have promised that they have a day 1 patch to kind of up that sound. The sound you hear here, I had to up to 400% on my video editing equipment so that anybody would be able to hear it. They have promised it's a day 1 patch and it won't be an issue, but I did want to mention it just in case that day 1 patch doesn't come out and it is an issue. But as long as it does, my only thing is I'm interested to play again so that I can actually hear the music at the levels that they're supposed to be at. 2, when you make spells, you can create and name 6 different spells for each of the 4 attacks that you have. And not only that, but you can press your ZL button and hot swap between the different attacks on the fly, which makes it really easy to maneuver and save these attacks and do what you need to do. And so I haven't hidden the lead here. I thought this game was fantastic. I thought all the things you could do in it were great. Some of the one real issue that I had was loading times. This game is $19.99, or will be when it drops on the eShop, and you will have about 20 hours worth of gameplay when it's all said and done. I think it's more than worth the 20, and I should back up and say 20 to beat it. When I beat the game, I ended up at 77%. There were still some augments. I'm missing 1 augment and a bunch of small chests. You find these chests that give you these green beads, soul beads. That give you soul beads that can up your heart or magic containers. Again, think of Zelda. And so there's more work to be done for me if I want to do 100% the game. I'd probably have another, I don't know, 5-10 hours if that was the case. But I had a great time with it, guys, and if you're looking for a game like this, what you're seeing here, it's just as good as it looks. So if you, I hope this helped you make your decision on this game. This is Nick from Nintendo Dad, signing out. See you later. Game over.